For the first time in the history of the city and the state, Milwaukee and Wisconsin will be hosting a major political national convention.
Welcome back to Up Front. So we just spent our first segment hearing about preparations for the July 2020 Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee. But some on the other side are raising concerns that Democrats might leave taxpayers footing the bill for part of the convention. The conservative-leaning free market think tank Badger Institute recently published an article that said Democrats have a record of unpaid bills and may have overpromised and could underdeliver on the July convention. So we're talking about that now with Mike Nichols, president of the Badger Institute. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here.
And to you, thanks for having me.
So it's my understanding that there are a number of contracts when it comes to the city and the host committee, the Wisconsin Center District, Fiserv, making sure that the city won't be on the hook for this money, that taxpayers won't. So explain the concerns in this article.
Right. Well, there's a difference between just the city and taxpayers. So taxpayers will be on the hook for some of this, always have been. So taxpayers, federal taxpayers, will spend $100 million this year on the conventions, $50 million in Milwaukee and $50 million in Charlotte for what are supposed to be security costs, and there's another issue there about whether other things, are included in those security costs. But taxpayer dollars will be used for this, federal taxpayer dollars. And then the other issue is whether or not, state taxpayer dollars or in some way local tax dollars will have to foot the bill in the end.
And is that the real concern, the local people having to pay for this who didn't really sign up for that?
Well, not just local, but from our perspective, taxpayers in general. I don't think that tax dollars of any sort, federal or state or local, should be used to fund a political convention any more than they should be used to in any way fund political campaigning that goes on both sides of the aisle all around the country all the time.
And in talking about some of these unpaid bills, according to a report from the Center for Public Integrity, the Trump campaign owes the city of Green Bay about $9,000 from an August 5th, 2016 rally there. Yeah. We checked with the city. They said the president still hasn't paid. They also told us the Clinton campaign owes them money too. So I guess I'm just wondering, is this that uncommon?
Well, unfortunately, it's not. And you know what? It's not just Green Bay. It's actually Eau Claire in our state here, Adrian, has had the same problem. There have been at least 10 other places in the country that have made an issue of this with the Trump campaign, and prior to that with other Democratic administrations. So it's a longstanding problem, and I just think I guess I'm kind of a purist about it, and we're kind of a purist about it, that tax dollars just shouldn't be used for political messaging and commercials or rallies or conventions.
And Democrats will say that won't happen. They're confident they'll have the money. Why the concern?
But again, $50 million in federal tax dollars will be used in Milwaukee and also in Charlotte, where the Republican convention will be used. But the other concern, if you want to just focus on state and local dollars, is that our mayor has said, he said at a WisPolitics event in September out in D.C., that he was going to try to seek state help for the convention. Our mayor did say that, and so that's a concern when they're saying explicitly that yes, we'd like to get other support from state taxpayers for this if necessary, and hopefully it won't be.
And Democrats say this will have a huge economic impact for not only the city, but also the state. And this article cites other conventions where maybe it wasn't as much as they had promised.
Right. I think the big picture is that it's a great thing for the city, right? And it doesn't matter whether it's a Republican convention or a Democratic convention. It's really a great thing. 50,000 people here, huge economic impact. So the question is just whether or not it's being overhyped a little bit. I think the number that's been put out there is that we'll probably have a $200 million economic impact. In fact, that exact same number was thrown out prior to a convention in 2012 in Charlotte. The city there actually did an impact study after that, Adrian, that said it was only $163 million. And I think most honest economists would say that some of these economic impact studies aren't exactly accurate anyway. So again, good thing, but I just think we have to be be kind of careful accepting what they say the economic impact is going to be, and even more careful about when we in this country use taxpayer dollars, whether they're federal or state or local, to fund purely political messaging or campaigning. I think it's a policy issue. It's a taxpayer issue.
So the convention is coming now. I mean, anything we can do about it to make sure the money gets put to good use?
Well, the federal money, I think, is going to flow the way it always has. So I wish we still had some influence over that, but I doubt it. I think here at the local level, if they're going to get federal money, they should make sure that it is spent on the things that it's supposed to be spent on. There has been a history in some other cities of it being spent for things other than security, and we should try to make sure that doesn't happen.
Mike Nichols, Badger Institute, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We asked the Democratic National Committee for a response to this criticism. Liz Gilbert, the head of the Convention Host Committee, told us they are confident they will raise the funds needed to organize and host a safe, accessible, and inclusive convention, and that responsibility will not fall on local taxpayers. Illinois just legalized marijuana. Next on Upfront, the challenges for Wisconsin employees, employers, and law enforcement when it comes to weed across the border. And later, the government's move to ban most flavored e-cigarettes, how it could affect the November election.